I'm John. I've made a series breaking down the Knicks roster position by position. We'll get into each of these players, talk about their background, how they fit on the team, and what their individual goals will be like for this season. Anyways, let's get into the video. All right, we'll get started with the power forwards here. Obi Toppin to start. He's only 24 years old, 6'9", and weighs 220 pounds. So I call him an athletic wing slash forward. Last season, he played quite a few games, averaging 17 points, 9 minutes per, 53% from the floor. That's elite. Passable three-point percentages. And then for some metrics on, the power forward position, rebounding 3.7. That's mediocre for the minutes he's playing, and only half a block per game is kind of soft for that power forward position on defense. Anyways, he won the dunk contest last year. Good for him. And the Knicks fans love this guy. I want to see him unleashed further, especially Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. And he did get 7 more minutes per game last year, and in that time, he improved big time, doubled his points, better efficiency. I mean, a lot of that is scoring at the rim with his athleticism, that 53%, but he hits the mid-range okay too. Now, on the defensive end, like I mentioned, he doesn't play that well as a big. The rebounding is okay, but the rim protection really isn't there, only half a block per game. So I don't know if he fits that well at power forward. Maybe he would do better at the small forward spot, but the Knicks have been reluctant to try that. Anyways, this year I'd like to see him improve that three-point percentage in the offseason. If he can get 31% up to 35%, that's a huge difference on the offensive end. And there's chatter too that Randle could get traded. I don't think that's a great idea, and I'll touch on that later. But this would mean a lot more opportunity for Toppin. That said, I don't think he's really ready for that starter role just yet. So our next power forward here, Feron Hunt. He's only 23 years old, 6'8", 195 pounds, and I describe him as a quick wing. So last season in the G League, he played 34 games, averaging 35 minutes per game. So he's getting a lot of play, 18 points, elite field goal, 55%, and great shooting from 3. Rebounding was kind of mediocre, 7.5 rebounds, and that's something I really didn't like was the free throw attempts, only 1.6 per game. When you're playing 35 minutes a game and only get into the line like once a game if you're lucky, that's really not so good. And with his smaller stature too, the lower weight, I can definitely see that being something where he shies away from the contact, So a little background on this guy. He spent 3 years at SMU, that's D1 basketball. And last year he got signed by the Mavericks, and then got signed by the Pelicans, and then finally got signed to a 2-way deal with the Knicks. And I really don't know how that game is going to translate from the G League to the NBA. It looks pretty good in the G League. Like, that scoring efficiency is awesome. But I really think physicality is going to be a problem for this guy. Like I mentioned, only 1.6 free throw attempts per game in the G League. That's less than 1 time going to the line per game when you're playing a lot of the game. He is super light, and that might be an issue on defense too when he comes to the NBA. Coming to the NBA level where players are stronger, and he's got to play defense on those guys. Maybe he can't take the contact that well. Also, do we know the scoring efficiency will be as good in the NBA too? It's a little bit quicker. People are better. That's also a big question mark. So he's going to spend the season competing for opportunity. Really, it's only going to be the backup small forward and power forward spots that he's even eligible for. So some people who are also in that boat, Reddish, Toppin. So really, he'll be spending most of the year in the G League, I think. And he's been dominating down there, so I look forward to seeing most out of that. And hopefully he can get to the line a little bit more and just be more aggressive in general to show that he's not scared of the contact. Our last power forward here, Julius Randle, 27 years old, 6'8", 250 pounds. He's a big guy. He's a scorer and a rebounder. So last season he played 72 games, 35 minutes per game, 20 points per game, but the efficiency was pretty rough. 41 from the floor, 31% from 3. Same thing with playmaking. He got 5 assists a game, but also 3.5 turnovers. That's rough. He did rebound the ball well at around 10 per game, but his blocking on defense was not very good, only getting about half a block per game. That's super weak for someone that big, that strong, such a good athletic player. He can do better there. So last season, he was the most improved player. 2 seasons ago, most improved player. Got himself that huge contract with the Knicks. He's going to be getting $26 million over the next 4 seasons. But last year he just had an awful year. He was down 10% from 3, down 5% from the field, and he had 1 less assist per game while averaging the same amount of turnovers. He and the Knicks team just had a terrible year last year. There's no other way to put it. This year, though, things are looking up. You have Brunson, the new signing. Derrick Rose is going to be healthy, we hope. RJ Barrett improves again. And maybe Randle improves this season too, and that's another reason things are better for this Knicks team. But he's really got to look to regain the faith of New York City. Do this, play efficiently, shoot efficiently, play make well, and put some more effort in on defense, man. Like, half a block is so far from enough for someone with this kind of physical ability. And Brunson's going to be doing a lot of offensive work here, so Randle can focus a little bit more on the defensive end. I mean, if you have good Randle defense plus Mitchell Robinson down there in the post, that's a scary defense. So I'd really like to see him put some more effort in on that end. Finally, all in all, we got a solid starter here with Randle at the power forward spot. I hope he regains the faith of New York City and he doesn't turn into one of these horrible contracts. There's a lot of questions off the bench. Is power forward the right fit for Toppin? There's really a hole there for someone to fill. Like right now, Toppin's doing it, but if someone can come along and do it better, it's all theirs. Like I was saying before, there's been some chatter about trading Randle if he plays terrible again. But you're going to need to get a power forward back in return because you really have no replacement for him at the power forward spot. So I think actually trading Randle would put the Knicks in a really bad spot. So things would have to go really poorly between him and the team. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Next episode, we're going to be going into the center position. We got Jericho Sims, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Mitchell Robinson. So I'll see you there. Peace.